Today on Bridge City News, a man convicted of attacking an Edmonton police officer and then running down 4 pedestrians with a van has been sentenced to a total of 28 years in prison. China and the U.S. have reached an agreement on Phase 1 of a trade deal which cancels plans for new American tariffs, but officials say there are still a number of issues to be clarified. And an internal battle continues within the ranks of the Federal Conservative Party over whether or not the party had approved the funding for Andrew Scheer's children to attend a private school.
Your nation, your province, your southern Alberta. From the heart of Lethbridge, it's Bridge City News with Paul Arthur.
Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. We begin with a look at some local Christmas events as the clock ticks down ever closer to December 25th. The Lethbridge Interfaith Food Bank held its Christmas craft sale today. Spokesperson Joni Neufeld tells us more.
So this is our first Christmas craft show, and we are excited to be using our new Co-op Community Spaces kitchen. We have all of these wonderful products that have been made by our Helpful Hobbies Committee. It's a group of people that come in, donate their time, and we use donated products. And we're able to take food to prevent it from spoiling and repurpose it. So we have cooking and baking and seeds and cozies, all sorts of things for your stocking fillers. And we're able to sell it here because of our commercial kitchen, and we're able to give it to clients in our client services.
The food bank will be staying open extra hours in the days leading up to Christmas from 9 till 1 on Saturdays, giving donors more time to bring in donations. And the second door thrift store will also open on Saturdays for gift shopping. In Colehurst, the strong community spirit was evident at the annual Breakfast with Santa this morning, with opportunities for photos with St. Nick, family activities, and a fundraising craft and bake sale.
It's just a fun event, at the holidays to bring families out, and it's an initiative of our parent council here at the school, and we really like it because it brings younger families in so they can see the high school, and someday we hope that those kids will be coming to school here so they get comfortable with the building and know what it's all about.
On Friday, Colehurst Elementary School students donated over 100 presents to the Angel Tree Christmas campaign. The Lethbridge Latino community held its Latin Christmas market and fiesta today, offering some unique Christmas gift ideas and an opportunity to support Indigenous women in South America.
There's so many amazing artisans who make beautiful things in town, Latin handicrafts, and we just wanted to celebrate Christmas the Latin way. We have Kik Mexican Boutique. They work with Indigenous women down in Mexico to provide fair trade, beautiful, unique products here. We have eco jewelry from Colombia, beautiful jewelry, colorful, made from natural products. We have delicious food vendors, so antojitos, Colombian empanadas, and other delicious goodies. The time before Christmas is a time where families and friends gather, so every night people will meet at different people's houses before Christmas, so it's really a time to spend together, which is what we want to do here today, inviting the community to experience that as well.
The annual Lethbridge Festival of Nativities has been up and running since Thursday. Over 500 donated nativities are on display at the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints on 28th Street South. It is an interactive event for both kids and adults, including a children's room with a dress-up nativity and live music. The final day of the festival goes tomorrow from 2 till 8 p.m. Admission is free. A man convicted of attacking an Edmonton police officer and then running down 4 pedestrians with a van has been sentenced to a total of 28 years in prison. Abdullahi Hassan Sharif was handed 18 years for striking Constable Mike Chernick with a car before stabbing him multiple times outside a football game in 2017. Sharif was also sentenced to 10 years for later fleeing from the police and running down the pedestrians. While he wasn't charged with terrorism offenses, RCMP are convinced that it was in fact a terrorist attack.
28 years is a significant sentence. Obviously, it's not the position we put before the court, but it is a very significant sentence, and Justice Belzel clearly came to a thoughtful and reasoned decision.
I think there's lots of discussion about what is expected when you have these types of situations, and so when you have a specific number in mind, when you're expecting a life sentence, that's a difficult thing to experience.
So the Alberta RCMP's Integrated National Security Enforcement Team pursued an investigative posture consistent with a terrorist attack following the events on September 30th, 2017. Based on the evidence that was gathered, and in consultation with our prosecutorial partners, it was decided that in the best interests of the administration of justice, that attempted murder and the additional charges would be laid. On behalf of the Integrated National Security Enforcement Team for Alberta, I would like to thank the Edmonton Police Service for their heroic acts in subduing Sharif before he could continue his attacks. From a police perspective, in terms of the Alberta Integrated National Security Enforcement Team, it was investigated as a terrorist attack. Based on the evidence and in consultation with our prosecutorial partners, which is the Public Prosecution Service of Canada and the Alberta Solicitor General here, based on the evidence, we believe that in the best administration of justice, the charges that were laid would give us the best result.
The law firm representing clients of the Quadriga CX cryptocurrency exchange wants the RCMP to exhume the remains of the firm's founder, who died suddenly a year ago while traveling in India. Those clients claim they are owed a total of $214.6 million. Miller Thompson LLP wants the Commercial Crimes Branch to conduct an autopsy on the body of Gerald Cotton to confirm both its identity and the cause of his death, citing a need for the certainty around the question of whether Cotton is in fact deceased. There are signs a nasty fight is threatening unity in the federal Conservative Party. It involves Executive Director Dustin Van Voot, who has been dismissed from the party's fundraising arm. Conservative leader Andrew Scheer resigned Thursday, less than 24 hours after some media outlets learned of an agreement between the two for the party to foot the bill for Scheer's children to attend a private Ottawa Catholic school. Van Voot says the payments were approved by the party, but some insiders say the news was a surprise to directors of the Conservative Fund. China is putting a positive face on a Phase 1 trade agreement that dials down a trade war it blames Washington for starting. While Chinese experts say the deal would reduce uncertainty for companies, at least in the short term, they say both sides will have to show a willingness to compromise on some fundamental differences.
The tariffs scheduled to go into effect on Sunday are now canceled. And that's very significant. As much as $160 billion worth of imports were to be tariffed. The Chinese will be purchasing large amounts of American agricultural products. The Chinese press conference and the American statements are a little bit different, and therefore it's not 100% clear what exactly the Chinese will be buying. Tariffs are still in place for about $250 billion worth of goods. But the Phase 1 is now concluded, and they are apparently going to be fixed at where they currently are and will not be going up. Now, in the meantime, we will carry on negotiations. What the president said is immediately to hopefully resolve additional issues within the relationship to remove those existing tariffs.
British Prime Minister Boris Johnson visited Northern England today to acknowledge the seismic shift that helped sweep him to victory in Thursday's election. Johnson traveled to Sedgefield to meet with traditional Labour voters. Armed with a hefty new majority, Johnson is set to start the process next week of pushing Brexit legislation through Parliament.
And you've changed the future of our country for the better. I will thank all of you for the trust that you have placed in us, in the Conservative Party, and in me. And I know how difficult it was, and it can be, to make that kind of decision. And I can imagine people's pencils hovering over the ballot paper and wavering before coming down for us and the Conservatives. And I know that people may have been breaking the voting habits of generations to vote for us. And I want the people of the North East to know that we in the Conservative Party and I will repay your trust. Everything that we do, everything I do as your Prime Minister will be devoted to repaying that trust. And first of all, what are we going to do to replace we are going to get Brexit done, aren't we? We're going to get Brexit done, and we have a deal ready to go. Now, can anybody tell me what kind of a deal it is? Can anybody give me the culinary characteristics of that deal again? It is oven ready. It's ready to go. Every single one of our wonderful MPs, our wonderful new MPs, they're all. Now, do you support that deal? Yes. They do. They all back it in. We have 100% support. We can get it in before Christmas.
Recapping one of our top news stories, an internal battle continues within the ranks of the federal Conservative Party over whether or not the party had approved the funding for Andrew Scheer's children to attend a private Catholic school. And a look at weekend weather. A few clouds tonight with a low of -12 and a wind chill of -20. Sunshine on the way for tomorrow, a west wind at 20 and a high of -7. David and Colette Steffen have been in the news over the last number of years for allegedly not providing the necessaries of life for their toddler. Their last trial resulted in a victory. However, the Crown is now appealing that decision. Hal Roberts sat down with David Steffen to discuss this and the rights of parents versus the power of the state. That is straight ahead. But first, here's a look at what's happening in and around your community.
Here's your Bridge City News community calendar. Come for an amazing cultural experience. The Lethbridge Symphony Orchestra is presenting the famous oratorio, The Messiah, on Monday, December 16th at 7:30 p.m. at Southminster United Church, in celebration of the Christmas season. Tickets for Symphony Series 3 can be purchased online by visiting lethbridgesymphony.org. Come to the Shakespeare Meets Dickens Christmas celebration with a Tudor Victorian flair. This event is taking place on Friday, December 20th at 7 p.m. in the ATB Community Room at Casa. Enjoy a performance of Dickens' A Christmas Carol, followed by scenes and songs from Shakespeare. Plus, join in the merriment and sing along to your favorite Christmas carols. Traditional treats including mince pies, gingerbread, eggnog, and mulled wine will be served. Tickets are $20 and can be purchased at Casa. For more information, call Kate at 403-329-4568. And that's your Bridge City News community calendar.